Hi buddies, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are good, safe and blessed abundantly. Thank you so much for the love and support that I have been receiving from you guys. It is absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for always staying tuned. If you are new to this channel, please make sure that you subscribe. It is absolutely free because this channel is fun, it is everything and more. And if you subscribed long time ago, day one subby, or just subscribe now, thank you so much. Please come back the next time and the next time and the next time to watch these videos, and invite your people to come and subscribe also and watch my videos. Thank you so much guys, like it is truly insane, and thank you so much. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about all things BCMP. BCMP means Bachelor of Clinical Medical Practice, which is my profession. Now, I have been getting a lot of DMs about it, or a lot of questions. What is it? Is it good? How much do you earn? Is it the right path? It's just a whole lot of questions, but I'm going to be answering all your questions, so I hope that you will stay tuned and enjoy this video. While you're there, please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Alright buddies, so how I got into BCMP is that I applied. And when I applied to a lot of universities. I think it was like 5 universities. And when I applied in UP. So UP, I applied for radiography, and the first option and the second option was BCMP. Now, I really didn't know what was BCMP. Honestly, I didn't know what was BCMP. The name sounded fancy. So I was like, you know what, this is for me. Not like this is for me, but I'm like, it's fine. The thing is, I wanted to be in the medical field, right? Anything, like as long as I'm in the medical field. But I didn't want to become a doctor. Not because I hated it, or not because I didn't want it. Like, simply I didn't apply for it because I was like, no ma, you are just an average student. And medicine, there's this stigma that's like they only take the 90s, 100s, 80s, which is true, yes, but some people do get into medicine with their 60s, so it's just a matter of luck. I'm joking, but yeah. So that's how. And I applied and I got accepted into 2 universities. It was Northwest University and UP and UJ3. But then when I looked at it, because I applied like for different, because I had accounting, right? So UJ applied for accounting, in case maybe medicine didn't work out for me. So that's how I got. Okay, then the other 2 universities, I was like, no, I don't want to do this. At least I am accepted for like medicine, not medicine, for in the medical field. So I'm just gonna be in the medical field as I always wanted. So that's how I got in UP. I got rejected for radiography, which I honestly didn't want to do radiography here, but it's just that I just applied for it. Oh, and also I could be in physiotherapy, but when I researched, it talked about bones, and so I was like, you know what, I didn't do a thorough research, but I also love physiotherapy like now. But yeah, then the second option, obviously they accepted me for BCMP, and I was like, okay, it's fine, I'm going to be UP to do BCMP, simply because also it was closer to home. So my mom was not working, my dad was not working by that, my stepdad was not working by that time, so it was just like tough at home. So I was like, you know what, let me just go to UP, so because it's closer and there's not a lot of money that's gonna be needed. So yeah, that's how I got into BCMP. So the most question that has been asked is that what is a clinical associate? So a clinical associate is a person who can work in a hospital, in a private setting like your GPs. We can also work in clinics. Yeah, like we can basically work anywhere where there is like medical help. So actually what we are known for, but I don't like this term actually saying, is that we are mini doctors. We are not doctors, we are not mini doctors. Yes, the job that we do is similar, but is that Tina, we are just restricted, so we are supervised by a doctor. So we are not like a mini doctor. I hate that. I mean, we are not mini, we're just supervised by a doctor. So we can work in all those healthcare facilities, but mainly the clinical associate program was developed or designed for rural areas and also for district hospitals, because that's where we can function like properly, you know, because it's where, I won't say the basics, but it's where like our level of education is there, right? So yeah, we can in a hospital, district hospital, what we do, or in any clinical or healthcare facility, we can obviously diagnose a patient. We can when a patient comes, we can consult the patient, come up with our diagnosis, and also examine the patient. And after examining the patient, obviously you're gonna come up with a diagnosis and also prescribe medication. But the thing is, you can prescribe medication, but after that you need to be countersigned by a doctor. So your senior doctor needs to countersign to see that, okay, like he agrees with your diagnosis or whatever that you came with. And then if you do struggle, then obviously, you know, we are human, everyone, we work together as a team, like an empty team. So if you struggle with the patient, you can always ask for advices, opinion, you know, everything. So, but also the supervised thing is that you only are supervised for 5 years. So after 5 years you can now be like independent, but you cannot open your own practice, right? So our scope of practice does not allow us to open our a private practice. So yeah, so but if you want more information about a clinical associate, you can visit Pakasa on Facebook. I'll link everything in the description box. You can also Google what a clinical associate is. You can also look at the scope of practice of clinical associate. So yeah, we do a lot of things. Like, we are not restricted to certain to things. The only thing that I can say that we are restricted in is when performing surgeries, because the only independent surgeries that we can perform for now, if you don't have a lot of experience like me, you can do circumcision on your own, which maybe you all know, or maybe not, that I am a trained medical male circumcision surgeon, and I do that independently. And also you can assist in like your I almost said lumbar puncture, oh my word, you can assist in C-sections. But I know of clinical associates who are more experienced, like 5-year experience and up, they can actually do the C-section on their own. It depends on the hospital that you are working in, and also if the doctor or the hospital trusts you enough to let you do things on your own, because clinical associates are good. I don't want to lie to you guys, but if you find a clinical associate at any healthcare facility, that clinical associate is very good, because we are trained so strictly, and we are very good in a clinical staff. You can never tell us anything about the clinical staff, because from the get-go, when we get to second week of you being in university and everything, you are thrown into the hospital and you are required to learn certain procedures. You must actually very much perfect history taking with a patient, because that is very crucial. And yeah, that is it about a clinical associate. I don't know if I missed anything, but I don't think I missed anything. And also, it depends actually where you are working and what kind of a job that you'll be doing, because some, like me now, I am not consulting, like a patient comes consulting, doing prescribing, you know, all of these things, like what you do in a district hospital. I am now like focused on COVID itself and COPC, which is community orientated primary care. So another thing also of being a clinical associate, well, I would say the challenges of being a clinical associate is that we are undermined a lot. We are underpaid, depending on where you work, and also you constantly need to remind people who you are. You know, like not a lot of people knows the clinical associate profession because it was established in 2009, and so it is fairly new actually. So yeah, patients will call you doctor, or they will call you a nurse, which actually we are not any of those. We are just purely clinical associate. And yeah, that's the main challenges that comes of with being a clinical associate. But the good part is that you know basically everything. When it comes, you are very good, I promise you guys. Like you are very good, especially when it comes to clinical stuff, like when no practical stuff, you are really good. And yeah, the only thing also which I recently heard, or which has been continuing for the longest time, is that our scope of practice are not actually exact, because that Minister of Health still need to approve some things, and also regarding the HPCSA. But if you want to know furthermore about that, you can go to Pakasa on Twitter. They will tell you basically like everything. So yeah, and also what I forgot to mention is that the clinical associate also program was designed, as I told you guys, for being in the rural settings, right? So they saw Uguti, there is a lack of doctors in the rural setting. So if we as clinical associate go to the real areas, it will be very better, because we actually do the same thing as a doctor. It will relieve also the doctors stress, because they had a lot of work to do and they couldn't get to all the patients, you know. So yeah, so we are actually the reliever. We bridge in the gap. I love the logo in our BCMP t-shirts, or our BCMP logo in UP, if I may call it that, is that BCMP is the heartbeat of the healthcare system. I love that, because we are the heartbeat of the healthcare system. Alright buddies, so I've told you guys now what is a CA, what does CA do. Oh, so another thing, some people call us CAs, so it doesn't mean like a chartered accountant, it means clinical associate, FYI. I'm joking, but yeah, I've told you guys. So now the most important part, or I'm sure the part that you want to know, or that everyone is asking me, is that the salary. So when it comes to salary, it differs. Like it really differs from where you are working. It differs from the what you call, so it's either, if you are in a private setting, obviously you're gonna earn much more, because in a private setting, most of the time you don't have any benefits like your medical aid, pension fund, those stuff. You don't have any of that, but what you may be paying, or the only benefit I'd say that you have, is that you're gonna be paying UIF. And yeah, some they don't pay tax. Yeah, some they don't pay tax. I probably haven't should say that, but in any case, yeah, but yeah, some don't pay tax per se. It depends how much you are earning, right? So but generally, if you are in a private setting, you would get a higher amount than being in a hospital, or like the government setting, because in the government you have all your benefits, and obviously your medical aid, UIF, pension fund, everything. So your salary will differ. So yeah, the ranges differ. Not all clinical associates earn the same, and also it depends on the experiences that you have, because experience do count and everything, and also the qualifications that you have. So it differs. We don't earn like the same amount. It differs where you're working and also the qualification and what you have. And also for the postgraduate studies, what you can do is that there's the WITS. WITS has a lot of like postgrad studies when it comes to public health. You can even get your masters, you can get your honors, your doctorate. There is also epidemiology. You can be you can do your masters, doctorate, you know, and also there is emergency medicine that is being offered in WITS. So yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do, that like your postgrad. You can also add a diploma in TB or a certificate in HIV. You know, there's just a lot. Just like COVID now, you won't be a okay, well, COVID now, you will have like a certificate if you did like certain trainings. So there's a lot of CPD points also that you can get for those trainings, which is very important also when it comes to CPDs, because when you are a healthcare provider, you need to have like CPD, a certain CPDs over a year, like in a year, because your CPD points is actually scoring yourself, not because you're scoring yourself, I don't know how to put it, but the HPCSA requires it, right? Because as a healthcare provider, you can't just like not learn anything for the whole entire year, or not do any training for a whole entire year, because medicine changes. Like it gets updated, if not a year, if not a month, you know, so everything changes. So you need to stay updated with everything. So yeah. And yeah, I think that is it about the postgrad. So, another thing is that BCMP, or the clinical associate, is not offered in all universities. The only university that offers it is University of Pretoria, University of Witwatersrand, which is WITS, and WUSU. I say it so well. Walter Sisulu University. So that's the only 3 universities that offers BCMP. So if you want to apply for BCMP, it's obviously in the Faculty of Health Sciences, which closes early, quite early. So before COVID and everything, it used to close May, June, somewhere there, and the applications used to open end of March, beginning of April. So you just need to look with that university that when is it opening and when is it closing, so that you can apply in time. There's also bursaries. I know that a lot of my classmates by that time, they were funded under the bursaries, like provincial bursaries, like Mpumalanga used to offer, Gauteng also used to offer. So I don't know now, so just bursaries, you just need to look for yourself up. And also NSFAS, I was funded by NSFAS. They also do fund BCMP. Oh, I forgot to say, because BCMP is a 3-year course, which is so intense. But a video is gonna come about all things BCMP. I'm gonna have a guest. So yeah, we'll just see. You'll just know that what does a clinical associate do, or what happens in UP, what happens in the other institution, because it's not the same how we learn things, but it is within the same category, or it is within the same thing that we need to do, or we need to know when we qualify. So yeah. And then I think I'm coming to the last bit of this video, is that do I love being a clinical associate? So at first I was confused. I was really confused about what is happening here, what is being done. You know, it was just a lot. Sorry. It was just a lot, but as I studied over the years, and as I grew, and as I got to know what is it, like having a clearer picture and everything, yes, I do love it. Despite of all the challenges, I honestly love being a clinical associate. And one thing for sure, I believe that I was in this degree for a reason. I graduated, everything is good, it's providing for me now. So yes, I love being a clinical associate, also simply because it made me realize what I want to be in future, or what is my purpose actually, or where do I want to be in this medical space. So yeah, buddies, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you got some information about my profession, which is a clinical medical practitioner, clinical associate, a CA. There's just a lot of names, but we are not doctors, we are not nurses, we are simply clinical associate. Thank you so much. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, please, and let me know if you are going to apply for this course, and also any question that you might have. Please put it down here on the comment section. Please don't DM me anymore, because now I did the video. So everything that you want to know about BCMP, please put it down on the comment section. And yeah, I hope that you guys are good. And if you actually want to be a clinical associate, you need to be a person who is so passionate about helping people, so passionate about working overtime, or like giving yourself up, because you know what, this 3 years of being a student, everything, it will be intense. It will be intense, and you need to be prepared for it. You need to love what you're doing. You need to research about it and see, is this really what I want to do? Because you don't want to drop out like a second year, because you're already finishing. If you're in second year, you're basically like halfway. So if you really want to do this, and if you are very strong and be confident about this degree, and I think that's a good way for you. Anything. Bye buddies, see you on the next video.